Shalom. Wahalal Yahweh Shem Yahushua Bahashim Kakodash. No honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS. Great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful of that tabernacle of David. I'm a brother / elder. And this is the World War III Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you all. I'm going to stir up the meads right here real quick. Isaiah 13:17. Behold, I, the Most High, will stir up the meads against them, Babylonians. They shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. The Most High is going to put the spirit of triumph on the Russians against America. This is your boy Alistair Crook, the aristocrat. Judge Knapp, judging freedom. Why Trump abandoned his ceasefire demands with Russia. These are the two heads, right? The two presidents of Russia and Babylon the Great. The highest dragon tip of World War III, if you will. Take it away, Alistair.
And so, in a sense, this is...
Okay, he's explaining what happened at the meeting, right? The meeting between Trump and Putin that happened on Friday. All right, so he's going to jump to the part where they're in the car, just them speaking together.
I think the understanding, perhaps they reached this when they were sitting together in the presidential car, the Beast, I think it's called, when they were alone together. And I think, probably Trump said, listen, I want to get out of this. I want to get out of this, and, maybe you can help us get out of this too. And we will, we'll do our part with the Europeans, and we'll do our part as best we can with the pressures that are on me, to try and find a way in which you can bring about a solution through force, military force, to the point at which the EU and Zelensky really don't have any choice. And there is a deal, and there is a template. People don't talk about it, but it's Istanbul Plus is the template.
Yes.
That's why Istanbul Plus includes security guarantees for Ukraine, Russian security guarantees too for Ukraine, with others involved. In the original one in 22, this was the agreement reached in Istanbul in April of 22, and China was to be another guarantor of this process. So, all of this noise and kerfuffle, it's all in the Istanbul. Of course, the first point was, to get to the point where both sides understood each had their view, and they may not be at the moment, they may be miles apart, but that is the beginning of politics. Now politics has to follow that. We have to see what happens and where it goes.
So as I read you, and I'm going to play a little clip from the core of what President Putin said in Alaska. You are praising President Trump for his audacity, good audacity, to sit down, meet with, and listen to the Russians, something that hadn't happened since the early days of Biden's presidency. And you're praiseworthy of President Putin for sticking to his guns, so to speak. It does seem as though General Kellogg and the neocons have been thrown aside, but I'll ask you about that in just a minute. First, however, Chris, President Putin in Alaska, cut number 12.
The situation in Ukraine has to do with fundamental threats to our security. Moreover, we've always considered the Ukrainian nation, and I've said it multiple times, a brotherly nation. However strange it may sound in these conditions, we have the same roots, and everything that's happening is a tragedy for us and terrible wound. Therefore, the country is sincerely interested in putting an end to it. At the same time, we're convinced that in order to make the settlement lasting and long term, we need to eliminate all the primary roots, the primary causes of that conflict. And we've said it multiple times to consider all legitimate concerns of Russia and to reinstate a just balance of security in Europe and in the world on the whole. And I agree with President Trump, as he has said today, that naturally the security of Ukraine should be ensured as well. Naturally, we are prepared to work on that.
Let's see what they say.
I'm going to guess, just a guess, I'd like to know if you agree with me, that President Putin gave a lecture to the Americans, not unlike the first long answer he gave in his interview with Tucker Carlson, where he addressed, and I'm now using President Putin's own words, the genesis and the causes of the Ukrainian crisis, and that might have been the first time that Donald Trump heard that version of events, because he's not going to get it, and surely didn't get it from the neocons with which he surrounds himself.
Absolutely correct. And what was not picked up so much in that interview with Tucker Carlson was that Putin said, listen, we offered an exit from this conundrum. We offered that in April 22. We were negotiating that, and that was stopped dead. And what we have to find now is a suitable exit from this process.
Which we're not going to find. Why? They can't be bribed. That's what it was. Right? Which shall not regard silver and ask for gold. They can't be bribed. Sending them back. The Medes can't be bought off with silver or gold, and I'm sending them back to Babylonia, back to America. See that? Back to Babylon. Whew, look at this. The Good News Translation. The Lord says, I am stirring up the Russians to attack the Americans. They care nothing for silver and are not tempted, but these motherfuckers are mad as hell. They are not concerned about anything you have, any peace treaty or whatever you just offered. They're like this. Right now, nigga, we're reloading. So are you. We're going to get right back to this thing. Right? Because ceasefire or talks, that's stalling. I need more time. You think they're not reloading and moving things into place? Of course they are, both sides. So anyway, yeah, that's what became of the, the meeting.
That America can live with, Russia can live with Ukraine, and we have to find an exit.
There is no exit because the Europeans, right, have been pressing up against Russia for the past 20 years. Unprovoked. They're just, they won't stop. Think they're going to stop now? No. They're not going to stop doing what they've been doing to make Vlad do what he's doing. And now what? Now Vlad is pissed. Mossad stirred. Yeah, he was shaking his. Why did Vlad take the opportunity in Trump's house to speak first? Right? Those little things were going back and forth the whole time they were together. Who came off the plane first? Who did this first? Who did this? They were tit for tatting each other all the way up until, right? And they were being cordial while doing it. But guess what? Who cannot be bought off with silver and who have no desire for gold. What does that mean? Right? They can't be bribed. Where'd it go? They carried them that tempted way. I like that. The Lord says, I'm stirring up the Medes to attack Babylon. That's tight. All right, so anyway, we'll go ahead and close it. Who do not esteem money for themselves. All right, they have no need for it. They're not tripping on that. They have been, a lot of that meeting was about Putin getting the respect that they've been holding back for 20 years. Anyway, one of them right there. This thing ain't going nowhere. Right? They're about to attack each other. Vlad is about to escalate over there in Kiev right now. So with that, we hope the elector edified you, brothers and sisters. Shalom.